What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today, so hit that subscribe, hit that like. Cardano ADA 24-hour trade volume surpasses $890 million according to CoinGecko. MEXC ranks Cardano ADA as the fifth most traded asset during their zero trading fee campaign, and Grayscale ranks Cardano as ninth in their top 10 crypto assets for 1 week returns. So we definitely want to see higher rank for this. We want to see more volume in the billions, but I think that's coming very soon. Well, speaking of Kraken, serving over 15 million clients, says we're working on it, seriously. And they're referring to not only listing SNEK, but more Cardano Native Tokens. So I think SNEK and also Midnight Network in the future, they will both cascade so many benefits to the entire Cardano Native Token ecosystem. We're going to see a lot more CNTs, not only on Kraken, but other exchanges. And when it comes to Kraken, we may see even World Mobile Token, Iagon, MinSwap, and many more CNTs join SNEK. Hopefully we see this listing very soon. Turn Network, building Tornado Cash on Cardano, will integrate Indigo assets, iBTC, iETH, iUSD, on mainnet launch. Users will be able to privately transact Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USD directly on Cardano. Well, Vitalik has used Tornado Cash. Many people have used Tornado Cash. We also saw the sanctions removed off of Tornado Cash. And just like Animoca co-founder said, it's really not about anonymity. Everyone has that right of privacy. And it's great to see that there's a project like Turn Protocol building this on Cardano. And we also see the importance of privacy with Midnight Network. So everything's coming together. And I think this is great to see this utility for mainnet launch. Senator Cynthia Lummis says our coal miners are key to powering Wyoming and America's future. AI, Bitcoin, digital assets, and cloud computing. None of these innovations are possible without American energy independence, and President Trump knows this. Well, if you saw recently, the president did sign a bunch of executive orders regarding unleashing this sector of energy. And I think this will bode very well for all the investments for AI, machine learning, miners, all that stuff. This is really critical. It's very important to have a strong energy infrastructure. So that will be really good for digital assets. We also saw very recently President Trump officially signing the bill to repeal the DeFi crypto broker rule. So there were a lot of rules and legislation that was really, anti-crypto, that was really a bottlenecking DeFi. And so this is the first cryptocurrency bill ever signed into law by a president, which is going to allow DeFi to flourish. It's going to allow it to grow. And we have some comments by the Digital Assets Executive Director, Hines. He says the first crypto legislation ever signed into law is a huge moment. Repealing the IRS's DeFi broker rule protects innovation and privacy. Another big step towards ushering in a golden age for digital assets. So this is big. We see the importance of DeFi, of privacy. We're really setting the foundation. We really need clarity though. I don't think we're going to see market pump unless there's clarity with China and the entire world. Charles Hoskinson had an excellent live stream tonight. Make sure you guys watch the entire stream. We're going to release more clips tomorrow as well. He says recent changes that I've made and the way that I've structured IOG have greatly amplified our ability to deliver. We've really stepped up the game in terms of ecosystem development, commercialization, and relationships with people. He says Midnight was very well received, a great degree of excitement. We think it's going to bring millions of users into the Cardano ecosystem. The concept of hybrid applications, whether it's Bitcoin to Midnight, Ethereum to Midnight, Solana to Midnight, or ADA to Midnight, is a net positive for the whole space. Goes on to say that Cardano's roadmap is the best it's ever been. Bitcoin DeFi is a leviathan, turning Cardano into a very successful AVS system via Minotaur. Midnight is going to be very good for all of us and bring so many users in. So guys, AVS, Minotaur, multi-resource consensus. It's going to be a win-win for so many projects, but really allow Cardano to create so much revenue as well. And it's going to be a very excellent positive feedback loop, I think. TapTools with a great post. Cardano Developers logged over 30,700 comments in the past year, shattering the market average of just 66 in the last 12 weeks alone. Almost 6,000 versus an industry average of 4. So development is just on fire. Well, what's going on with the Fed? And we're going to talk a little bit about tariffs. Watcher Guru reports that top Fed official says the Federal Reserve is ready to help stabilize the market if needed. If needed, huh? Binance founder CZ in a conversation saying that Bitcoin will definitely hit $1 million eventually. He says it could be this year, it could be years from today. And he also mentioned how years back in the 90s, right, they wanted to do video conferencing and it took decades to really become mainstream. And we're still very early in the technology aspect of crypto, right? Not too long ago, it was just seen as like, yeah, this is just speculative. No one cared about Bitcoin. And so eventually Bitcoin will hit $1 million according to CZ. Timeline, it really could be this year, it could be next year, it could be 10 years from today. He didn't give an exact timeline, but definitely that will eventually happen. BlackRock banked $3 billion in crypto inflows in the first quarter. Digital assets contributed almost 3% to total iShares ETF inflows last quarter. Assets under management, $11.6 trillion. Now, while BlackRock and Larry Fink, and they say that, oh, you know, we're in a recession, some people might think of that as like super bearish, but I think we're just going sideways and basically the bottom is in. But I do think we're in the age of buy the dip, sell the rip, because I don't think we're going to get absolute clarity that fast. We see a lot of back and forth and China trolling the US and the US kind of, you know, it just goes back and forth. I don't think we're going to see clarity immediately. This could go on, this sideways action of buy the dip, sell the rip, maybe for another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We're going to have to wait and see. But we kind of run up to 6.4, come back down. Today we went up to 6.3, coming down a little bit as well. Right now in TradingView, ADA at 6.2, Bitcoin 83. Not too bad. Not too bad. It did touch 84. So things are a little bit higher, higher lows, but we're not really surpassing 84K for Bitcoin, and ADA still, you know, not really going higher than that 6.4 mark. So I think really the market is yearning for certainty. We see that also with the Russell 2000 index. Stocks want certainty. There's too much uncertainty right now, and it won't really satisfy their appetite until we get that, especially with China, given how big they are, trading behemoth. So we're just going to continue to watch the market, guys. I think the most exciting thing is really, this is a big one for DeFi to really let it flourish. But also it's nice to have some bullishness from CZ. So I will hand it off to CZ that, you know, being very optimistic. I think CZ is a very bright mind of moving very quick in the beginning days. And so I have a lot of respect for CZ. Will Bitcoin hit 1 million this year? I don't think so. And contrary to the super giga bullish predictions, I'm thinking like the peak could even be that 150 to 200 range, maybe in that 150K. But let me know, guys, what do you think? CZ says eventually Bitcoin will hit $1 million. Do you think it will? And if possible, when will that actually happen? So guys, stay positive. Let me know what you guys are doing for your strategy. I'm thinking buy the dip, sell the rip. This could go on sideways still for some time. Smash that subscribe, smash that like. I'll see you in the next Angry Crypto Show.